Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Abe with MysticGenMara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to be seeing this, I would like to offer your elemental energy bonus reading for the elemental energy of water. Water covers the zodiac signs of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, so all of our fishies out there. And if you've never had your charts read, there is a link in the description to a natal chart through Llewellyn. It's just a basic birth chart. Gives you your base 12 houses with all the little signs and symbols. And then there's a 10 to 20 page description of what all of those things mean, which really is actually helpful because if you're like me and astrology is a little bit of a challenge sometimes, that is a good starting point to get you going. And then for our bonus reading, I like to do the Celtic cross, but I do a little variation of it just because it makes more sense for how I read, because I read intuitively. And so we'll be doing that. Also, since I read intuitively, if you see something different with the cards, feel free to leave a comment and let me know what you're seeing. It might be beneficial for someone else who's watching the video to see that too. With that, we will get started. And if you're curious about any of the cards I'm using, they're linked in the description as well. So your first card, this is the significator. This is who you are, water, in totality in this moment, a little snapshot in time. We have the Knight of Cups. So there's this energy of being a defender, being someone who is carrying the water for other people. There is this energy that you're having to step up, and it could be a physical way, it could be an emotional way, it could be a mental way, but you're the one who is kind of leading the charge and directing the troops, so to speak. You're not to that level of the king yet, obviously, but the knight is really just saying, I'm here to defend and protect. So you're in a very strong way there, and with water being the key aspect, this is also calling to you as a person to protect emotionally those around you. So you're in a really strong environment here. There's also this energy that I'm getting, and it could be the polar bear going on down here, that there is an observation being done. But this observation is not hostile, it's not a threat to you, but it's something that is outside of you. Like, you might be vaguely aware of this particular observation, but since it's not a threat, you really don't care about it. But it does have some influence coming on, so we'll see how this plays out in the reading. But there is an energy of an observer with influence that's paying attention to you right now. The thing that's crossing you is the Nine of Swords. Fire or air is swords, so this is could be an intellectual thing, or it could be a memory, or it could be an illusion that's being called forth. And this Nine of Swords is really saying, is the battles that you have fought in the past, are they still influencing you in the moment? Because this is how you're feeling now, is you're feeling upset, distraught over things that happened in the past. And so your past might be rising up to challenge you this month, water, and what this is really a call to do is it actually something that needs to be dealt with, or is it an illusion of a perceived failure, so to speak, in the past that just won't let go? How would you process that and let it and release it? Learn the lesson, that way it has no more power over you and you can release the emotions. So for water this month as a bonus, and this may not be for everybody, but there's definitely something from the past that may need to be dealt with, and it's something that used to be a conflict, or something that you were involved in that felt like a conflict that needs to be released, and that could be the challenge that's coming up for you this month. So your higher self, we have the Sire of Cups. And with this one, it's this mentor to student energy, and I'm feeling for you, this is definitely you're the mentor here, but your higher self is calling you forth to. You're protective in the moment, but your higher self is saying, use that protection to train, to teach, to live the example of what it is that you would like to have had when you were in those positions. So if you happen to be a manager or a supervisor, what would have been the thing that you needed the most, and manifest that in yourself so that the people who are coming up below you that you're managing or supervising are going to be able to pick up that information. Be open to exploring how to become something better, and be open to admit when you are not correct. This is this energy that's coming in that's saying, to be the best leader, you have to be able to do all the jobs. To be the best supervisor, you should have started at the bottom and worked your way up. To be able to understand what another person's dealing with, you have to have been able to walk in their shoes. And your higher self is saying, if that's the thing that you needed when you were in a lesser position, how would you bring that into fruition so that others can see that, yes, you can handle this and you can move up from this, and this is how I did it. How would this work for you? So it's basically that leading by example energy. So your shadow, which is the things that we've repressed, the things we've shoved in our in the back, those things that we were told weren't good enough, so we hid them away from the world. Well, now it's your shadow, and it's got all sorts of interesting things in there. Your shadow energy is the Seven of Cups. This is this energy of dreaming. It's the energy of digging into the illusion. So your shadow is saying to conquer your past or the challenge here, you may have to go into some deep inner work. But notice in your dream state, in your shadow realm, you have the phoenix, you have the deer, you have the tiger, you have treasure, a couple different kinds. You have all of this energy going on here, and you also have a positive future with the eggs. You have all this perceived and actual treasure in your shadow, and your shadow is like, what is it that's calling to you right now? If you could destroy and to get rid of the illusion that you have failed, this challenge that's coming up, what would you pick to create next? What direction would you go? Would it be for the family? Would it be for being reborn into someone new? Would it be finally opening that door to prosperity and abundance? What kind of energy would you call forth? Your shadow literally carries everything, and it doesn't matter how simple or complex. And especially when you're working with shadow, the first thing that comes to mind is the thing that your shadow is saying you're actually ready to process through the challenge and move forward with it and into the lesson that's going to project you forward. Let your shadow guide you through this. Your higher self is saying, live the example. Your shadow is saying, let's figure out what needs to be sorted so you can actually do that. And so you've got a very strong water-based middle pillar here, because your higher self is saying, lead by example, show them the way. In the moment, you're being very protective and very cautious. You want to make sure you're doing the right thing, which is great. And your shadow is saying, okay, now that all things considered, where are you going next? What is it in your shadow that is being brought forward? So your water energy is really tapping into the very core of yourself. And water, I will say this right now, you are the only one of the bonus for July that has that particular alignment where it's all water-based. So see how that actually is calling to your natural skills and talents. Your immediate history, last 1 month, 6 months, or a year, is the number 2 of the major arcana. It's the High Priestess. Again, a little bit of water going on here. And this is the path to knowledge. This is success, but also the understanding of walking the middle path, because you have the pillars of severity and beauty, or of mercy, depending on how you interpret that. So you're in the path of walking the center, meaning you've had to learn how to navigate this world that you have ended up in. Sometimes you have to be more aggressive, sometimes you have to be more gentle. But this knowledge is coming from your intuition. The moon is water, lunar energies, intuitive aspects. And the High Priestess is the voice of the Mother Goddess on Earth. You're the voice of the Divine Feminine. And water, for you, this was something that you had to learn. You had to experience this. In the last 1 month, 6 months, or a year, you have come to a new understanding of what it means to walk in intuition. And that's what's led you to being able to stand where you are today with your higher self saying, guide others, your shadow saying, process the things so that you can actually be more fully you as you're doing this. It's because you have come to a deeper understanding of the divine consciousness that you carry with you. And it's allowed you to actually follow that middle path, that more centrist concepts. And instead of being focused on only the good or only the negative, you realize that both are required to be able to function in the world. And that's what's led you to being this very powerful knight. So your immediate future, air is not going to be your friend this month, I'm sorry, is the Queen of Swords. And this one is an interesting card. I love it when you get an eyelash in your eye. This one's an interesting card because it's showing that there's a form of disappointment, which could be coming from your challenge here. So there's this energy of something didn't go the way you planned. But look at what else has hatched out of that. Yes, you did not get the one thing that you were looking at. That's understandable and that's not great. But the butterflies are what came out of there. So the Queen of Swords is saying you may not have gotten what you wanted, but did you get what you needed? This energy is saying, yes, the next 1 month, 6 months, or a year, it may not be exactly the way you'd planned it. It may not be exactly what you had anticipated. But did you get other things? Did you end up in a position where, yes, this one item, this one thing didn't go the way I wanted it to, but look at what else is falling into place. Maybe you didn't get the house, but you met the love of your life. Maybe you didn't get the promotion, but you got a different job. There's other aspects of this that you could be looking at. And it could have been like, we couldn't get pregnant, but we have this option to adopt. There's a lot of different ways to see this. Just because one thing didn't go well, don't forget you have other things that are being improved. So the Queen of Swords is saying, yes, things may not have went exactly as you intended, but did you get what you needed? And that's usually something a little bit different than what we want. So our inner world, this world that lives inside your head, your personal attitude, the things you're thinking about, we have number 6, the Lovers. This is the union of opposites. This is coming into balance and focus. When we have the High Priestess and the Knight of Cups with all of this other water energy, you have water bonding to fire. We'll just go with that because it's a good opposite for water. And you've got I always want to call them sandhill cranes because they breed. Those might be herons. And then we've got the Pisces right here, which is a water energy. So you've got this energy of the union of opposites. It's coming into alignment. It could be finding your partner. It could be the things you're thinking about. It could be the fact that you've come to an understanding of what the light and the dark within you are, the masculine and the feminine. It's this energy of coming into balance. So your inner world, even if your outer world's feeling a little chaotic, you keep looking within to find the balance. How do I merge these two things and change it into something different, better, which is like the alchemical concept of transmutation, bringing two opposite energies together to create something different. So for water, you could be bringing in an aspect of fire and creating something different. It's all an internal process, and the inner world that you're looking at right now, you have this image in your mind and you're thinking about it. Well, I could do this, but I also could do this, but that doesn't feel right. This does. But then there's this in the way. Is it really in the way, or is it something that needs to be merged? Is it something that needs to be purified to be able to take it to that level? And with the Lovers, it's also an indication of a healthier mindset coming in, because it's an energy of healing by coming into balance. So the outer world, the environment around you, the outside influences that you don't have a lot of say in but do have some influence over you, we also have the Queen of Cups. You have a lot of water going on, which is great, but it's interesting because this is calling to your nature. The Queen of Cups as the outer environment, the outer world around you, is saying, it's observing the fact that you have goals that you're aiming for. You have a new beginning that you're searching out. But there's also this energy of illusion that's being projected upon you. So water, this is where you get to use your discernment, because the outside world is playing some games right here. We're being really clear. The outside world is wanting you to see this illusion as the only path forward, but that's not true. You have other options. Your immediate future says you have other options, and it's an intellectual knowledge that you know this. But the illusion there is, nope, you only have this one. Ignore this. Don't look at this other possible outcome. This is all you have. But that's not true. And so the outside world is wanting to redirect you. It's still in a position of power. You have a lot of feminine aspects coming in here with the water too. You're still in a position of power. You've gained experience. But what I'm feeling with this environment one is, don't get distracted, because you know where you're headed. You know what you've got going on. Don't get distracted by the thing that didn't go correctly, because you have these other things happening and they might need a little more nurturing. So yes, one didn't work, but how many more fell into place? How much more opened up for you? And how many more options did you really end up with? Because that's the important part of this, is just because it didn't go one way does not mean you failed. It just means you may have a redirection coming in. Your hopes and fears are the Seven of Pentacles. So with Pentacles, this could be the hearth, the home, financial, work-related. And the Seven of Pentacles is really, the fear is, what if I'm not ready? Because they're still above you. You haven't reached them yet. What if I'm not ready? What if I aim for the moon and I fall into the stars and it's a failure? That's not a failure, first of all. But you also are being called in this fear part of, what is it that you feel you're not worthy of? These are not easy questions, water. What is it you fear that you're not worthy of? But the hope is you're protecting your future. You're preparing to accept your future. You're climbing this tree because one way or another, you will have your success. It may not be the exact way that you originally planned, and that's fine. That's part of life. But you are headed in the right direction because your soul and source knows more than our conscious mind does. Our conscious mind gets obsessed on the one thing that didn't go well, this part right here. But your subconscious mind, your soul, and source energy are like, why are you focused on that? Look at what else is going on around you. You're in a really good spot. Yes, that didn't happen because it wasn't meant to. That's not the best thing at this moment in time. You might get it later, but right now that's not the point. So your overall outcome here is the Two of Swords. Swords are not going to be your good luck energy this month. I'm sorry. The Two of Swords is the energy of pulling away, needing a time of quietness. It doesn't mean that you're shutting yourself off from the world. I mean, it can in a negative aspect. But what I'm feeling with this one is you have a path to intuition. You have a path to enlightenment, the moon back there, which is water. You have a body of water you have to cross. Again, water. But what I'm feeling in the moment is this is a time where you may just need to take a pause and rest. You may just need to not fight and wrestle and try to solve all the world's problems. If your shadow brings something up, work through it. You are here, as your higher self says, to shine the light and show the way. And so if you are willing to do that, taking these rest periods will open the door to the next level. You will understand when to act by taking the time to pause and find stillness. So water, this month looks very much you are standing in your power, water. You have a lot of water aspects, you have a lot of water support, air, intellectual knowledge, and the conscious mind challenges are going to be what's stirring the pot for you a little bit. But the reality is, if you stand in your water authority, things are going to actually go really well for you. There's a very positive aspect going on here, even through the challenges, because the challenges are more illusionary, is what I keep getting told. And this energy that's kind of underlying your theme this month, with you standing in your power, is the creative destruction of number 16, the Tower. This is the call to fix the problem. Tear apart the things that don't work. Yes, you may not have gotten the outcome you wanted. Well, what would have happened if you would have? Think about these things. It may have ended up putting you in the wrong position altogether. By that not happening, you've opened other doors. The Tower is the call to look at what's happening, disassemble the things that don't work. Keep what does and rebuild from a healthy foundation. So water, your underlying theme this month as being in your power is saying everything's fluid, everything moves. What is it that I'm being told to release, wash away, clear out? Because there's something else that I need to nurture, to grow, and expand. And sometimes that expansion comes in the most unlikely of ways. Trust me on that one. I've had some weird experiences with the Tower. But that's what's coming in for you this month. We're going to hop over to our oracle, get a little more clarity, or maybe answer some questions. Before we do that, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and drop a like on the video if you like this kind of content. And again, if you feel that you see something different with the cards, please comment. Let everyone else know your thoughts, because it's always beneficial to get more views versus less. Now, with our oracle cards, I pull 3 cards. They can be fulfillment of or clarification for the tarot, or there could be a specific question that you're asking, and they may give the answer to that. If you have a question, just push pause on the video right now, ask your question with the energy of God's source, and we will hop into the reading. So, your first oracle is the energy of the dolphin. Don't worry and be happy. The energy that comes up with water, because dolphins are also aligned with water. You also have mermaids over here, which are water. And you have this energy coming in saying, when you get into your natural state, water, things just go with the flow. That don't worry, be happy, because water doesn't worry where it's going. It just goes. It moves in ways that no other element can do. And it overcomes challenges and possibilities that no other energy can. Water, you literally carry the power of creation and destruction within your body. So why worry about things that are outside of your control? Let it go. That energy of the Queen of Cups, it's outside of you. Why worry about it? Do what you need to do to move forward and let the chaos reign on its own terms. You make sure you're bringing order to your world. That's the important part here. So our second oracle card is the 7 deadly sins, humanity's destructive traits. What is it that is being pushed upon you that you do not want to deal with? The Tower, as an underlying theme for this reading, is saying clear out the stuff that doesn't work. So clear out the 7 deadly sin aspect of it that doesn't work for you. Remove the problem. Work with God's source, work with forgiveness, work with sending it to Gaia to be cleansed and purified. You don't have to carry it. The energy that comes in with the 7 deadly sins card is saying you have the strength because God has worked with you to carry this, but you don't need to. You can say, you know what, I'm done. Throw it off, get rid of it, clear it out. I need to be able to heal and move forward, which is the energy of the Tower. You're taking things and destroying the pitfalls, and you're filling them in with flowers. You're filling them in with a garden, with peace. You take out the chaos, and you return to stillness. Your final oracle card is the Peacock, raising your standards. The peacocks are such a beautiful bird. Noisy as all get out, but they are such a beautiful bird. And this energy that's coming in is saying, when you do the right thing, it shows. You raise yourself through proper work. Like the I Ching talks about the righteous path, ethics, morals, your core values. When you live by those, you shine. And that also ties into your higher self energy, where you're the teacher. You're teaching by example. You don't have to be out there beating the drum and chasing people around with a stick. You live the truth. You live the light. The peacock is saying, how are you showing up to reveal Source's energy through you to shine to the world around you? You have been given the gift this month of working pretty much exclusively within your own power, within your own element of water. And how are you going to use that to shine? So water, as you go through this month, really focus on releasing the illusions that the past likes to shove on you. Get clear on what it is that your shadow is bringing forward. Live by example. Teach by example. It does not mean you have to be out there, rah, 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 rah. Do the thing and live in the way that is the best option for you. Live through your goals, your morals, your ethics, and your standards. That way other people can see that, oh, wait, I don't have to be shady or sneaky. I can live honestly because water's doing it. That's what you're showing off this month. That's how you're showing up this month. Allow that to be the guiding force with your intuitive guidance that you have already learned about using, and see how this month takes you and where you end up by the end of it. With that, I will let you guys and gals go. Have a great rest of your month. Stand in your water authority and live the life that you are meant to live, which may not always be the one that you thought you needed. Have a great rest of your month.